All right, everybody. New year, new haircut, same show that aired 5 years ago. So, hello, welcome back to Just Whelmed Noted, episode 6. Today we're talking about episodes 11 and 12 of Young Justice Invasion. So, first episode we got here is like Confined or something. Let me pull up the episode list real quick. I'm not prepared. But then again, what else is new? Justice. So yeah, sorry for the early episode this week. I got other things came up, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this early because I got other stuff to do at 1. So I'm doing that now. Doing this now, rather. All right. So episode 11 is Cornered. That was it. So now with episode pretty much starts off with now that the cave has been taken out of commission, Nightwing brings a whole bunch of people from yes, Tom, I am in fact doing this a bit early. All right, so with the cave now destroyed, we come to find out that Nightwing is bringing a whole bunch of the team members that used to live in the cave. Hold on a second. Mom, I don't know, and I'm doing my show a bit early today. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Nightwing brings a whole bunch of people to the cave, to Bloodhaven to have a new home. Mal's just like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go try to crash with Bumblebee. Bumblebee's like, no. Mal, no, we're not ready to do that. So Mal's like, oh. So everybody goes to the Hall of Justice to try to pick up what's left of their stuff. Meeting them there and helping them are Captain Marvel and Zatanna. And this is surprisingly the first episode and possibly the only episode with Captain Marvel this season, considering he was kind of a big thing last season. Well, not like a big thing, but like a good recurring character. It's the only episode we see him, I believe, this season, which is disappointing because I love that character so much, and we do get to see teenage Billy, and it's pretty cool. In the meantime, there's this whole mess going with G. Gordon Godfrey and his acceptance with the Reach and his distaste for the Justice League. And that's where we get the promo image for this episode where he's like, well, most of your heroes are wearing masks. And he does whatever he did. I don't know. G. Gordon's so delightfully horrible as a person. So, and it's like, we get that. And then we get this whole like sort of private conversation between General Sang, Captain Atom, and the Reach ambassador. And the Reach ambassador the entire time is like, well, yeah, I mean, you attacked us with your covert team of young operatives. So you've got your watchtower in the sky, and I'm just revealing all these secrets that you don't want other people to know. And then Captain Atom is just like, I just want to punch you so bad, but I can't because you've gone public, and that would be horrible for our PR. So that's all going on. And in the meantime, this alien and his robot buddy guy come down from space, and they're like, hey, we need to fight Earth's champions. Unfortunately, most of them are off-world, so we're going to make do with Captain Marvel. So they go down to the Hall of Justice with, I believe it's Superboy, Miss Martian, Bumblebee, and Mal, along with Zatanna and Captain Marvel stuck inside. So he puts down this like laser container thing around the Hall of Justice, and these guys just come in and then immediately start wrecking Captain Marvel, and immediately just sort of he has like third eye that opens up and like sidelines Zatanna, and it's like, oh, we're screwed. This is no good. So the fight ensues. The Hall of Justice essentially gets wrecked hard. like you thought the base being destroyed a couple episodes ago was bad. No, this is the Hall of Justice. This is public. People are seeing this get destroyed, and everybody's like trying to break them out, help them. You see Black Lightning come in and try to shock it. Also in this episode, we have Black Canary doing her usual, guidance counselor, psychiatrist shtick that she did last season in Disordered. It's a nice to see that come back, but this time she's talking to the abductees and the team members that were also abducted. So she starts off talking to Virgil, and we get a little insight about what's happening. It's like we felt like he was being eaten by lightning. The entire time he's playing with this paperclip, and then at the end of their session, he throws the paperclip, and it's been magnetized, and all the paperclips attached to it. So we get the first little hints of Virgil's actual powers, and I am excited. Oh, and he even drops a Static Shock reference, which is, oh yes, please. So that happens. We get a whole bunch of little things with the Impulse and Blue Beetle talking, and like Impulse is like he's got like the nervous tics. So like with his super speed, he's like patting his hand on his leg, and then he's tapping his foot really fast, which is like such a great little character moment, and it's great, and I love it. I love this show. And while this is all happening, Blue Beetle watches Ty come out of the interview chamber. He's like Ty, so which probably means he didn't know Ty was abducted, but also by what happens with the continuation of the scene, Ty does not know that he is Blue Beetle. So he's like, time to get up and stretch my legs. Jaime, no. So we get all these things, and like everybody's going through the things. Impulse is like, dude, don't tell them that you're supposed to turn bad and take over the world. He's like, dude, I'm so sorry. But eventually he cracks, like, I can't. I have to explain, say that, oh, this is bad. I got to explain it. So by the end of the episode, he comes clean and saying, in Impulse's future, I've become a huge bad guy. So please get this damn thing off me. So now that that's out of the way, back at the Hall of Justice, unfortunately, it keeps getting wrecked. Nobody's able to do anything, and it gets down to like just Mal. Like it's like just Mal and Miss Martian. Miss Martian's still sort of not feeling it because she just destroyed Aqualad last episode. Last episode. So she's just like still, no, I can't. Blah, blah. So Mal crashes into. Mal gets knocked away. Crashes into all the different. Or it might have been Super where they get crashed into all the displayed costumes, and then Mal eventually just sees the one of Guardian just like standing like up in an angle like this. Mal's like, well, all right then. I guess I got to improvise. So Mal finally dons the Guardian costume, and he's like, I am Earth's Guardian, and blah 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 blah. He's like really overselling like the fact that he is stronger than he really is. And then this merchant's just like, Mal, what are you doing? And Mal's just like, I am just buying time until you and Superboy could come up with a better plan. So you gotta help me. And so they are able to sort of distract the alien. Eventually, they sort of zap his third eye. They find a way to wig Zatanna up. And Zatanna's like, okay, I got it. I'll find a way to reflect his sort of mental powers back onto him. So she does an incantation, takes over Mal for a bit, and then redirects it onto him, and he gets knocked out. And they take out the robot, and then they're just still kind of stuck inside the cage. And then the Reach Ambassador walks up. He's like, "Here, let me help you." And he just goes like, "Boop," and then the shield comes down, and it's just like, oh, well, too bad about the Hall of Justice. At least you still have the Watchtower. And he says it in front of General Eiling, and Eiling's like, excuse me, you have a floating base orbiting the Earth? Are you kidding me? And Eiling's not having that at all. And everybody's like, oh, great. Because, the Reach is in such a good position right now. And, but yeah, by the end of the episode, since they can't operate out of the Hall of Justice, they now have to operate out of that crappy living area in Bloodhaven. And now it comes back. It's like, well, I guess I'm here. What you guys? Literally, what would you guys do without me? And that's the end of that episode. Well, one of those things that I listed was the end of the episode. But anyway, moving on to the next episode. For the most part, it's a nice little mission between Blue Beetle, Impulse, Tim Drake, and Arsenal finally joining the team. But also we get tiny little things. We get Sportsmaster finally confronting the Light, calling them out on allowing them to kill Artemis, even though Artemis isn't dead. But none of them know that. And he's clamoring for the death of Aqualad. And then the Light's like, no. By the way, we've already replaced you with Deathstroke. And Deathstroke just walks in. He's like, so you got a contingency plan, huh? And then an explosion happens, and Sportsmaster's like, bye. And then he gets onto the helicopter, starts talking to Jade, and he's like, see, I only did that to be proper. Now we can officially go after Manta and Aqualad. And they're like, then they just ride off. It's like, all right, we're doing this now. Meanwhile, with Aqualad and Black Manta, they have gotten a hold of Simon, and they're going to be using Simon to try to fix Aqualad's head. And we get this whole thing where Simon's like, I'm going to know more about your son than you will. And it's just like this whole thing. It's like, oh man, what's gonna happen? It's like, because this could be the end of everything if Simon finds out what's going on. So that's enough of that for this episode, unfortunately. So the main episode is that team of 4 infiltrating a farm in Smallville that the Reach has teamed up with Lex Luthor to create vitamin-enriched produce. So the 4 of them go undercover as like a tour group, and they even have Pa Kent walking around with them, sort of leading them as like sort of like a cover. So it was like, we first see him he's just like an old man, but it's later revealed this is Pa Kent, because they end the episode in Kent Farm. He's like, oh, I'll do anything for a friend of my boys. And because Superboy shows up later in the episode just to, hey, we're in Kent Farm. For whatever reason. Anyway, so they go in. This is supposed to be a stealth mission. They're being guided through this whole facility with like, stereotypical overly chipper tour guide. Eventually, they break off from the tour group and hide in the bathroom until the farm closes, and they all bust out in their uniforms. Impulse is in his regular uniform. He's like, "Dude, wrong costume." And it's like, "What are you talking about? You're supposed to be in stealth mode." He's like, "Oh yeah, where is that?" And he's just like trying to figure out where it is. And then Blue Beetle just like elbows him, and he gets it first try. He's like, "Thanks." So they're able to stealth through. They find that there's this sort of additive that the Reach and Lex Luthor are adding to these foods. Sort of makes this the water that they're using on the crops sort of a pinkish hue. So they spot the additive. Tim just sort of ducks out. It's like we don't see where he went, and then we see him over by the additive. He grabs some, and then he ducks down, and he's back with the group. It's just like that's such like, yeah, you're the protege of Batman. Yep. Okay. So, and that's all fine and dandy until we find out that Arsenal really wanted to stick it to Luthor, and he said explosives. So they're like, and Tim's just like, Arsenal, this is supposed to be a stealth mission. You just blew it. So then they're having all these issues, and Luther's like, well, things are really bad. And then Mercy is about to call for backups. Like Luther's like, no, don't call for security. That would be redundant. And then it's like, oh, what do you mean by redundant? Oh, by redundant, you mean that Black Beetle is there. Black Beetle shows up, and he just starts wrecking these guys. Because Black Beetle is not a pushover in the slightest. And we get a whole bunch of nice sort of comedic scenes. Like, because Black Beetle is one of the best characters in this show, which is one of the best villains, at least, just because he's so powerful and he doesn't give a shit. And it's like, he keeps getting like that tickles. And then like he goes against Impulse, and Impulse is moving so fast, but it's like, but then you see from his perspective that he can actually see Impulse slow down, and he goes to this thing. He's like, yeah, you might move fast, but my Scarab can still process faster than you can move or even think. And to respond to that, Impulse just starts throwing tomatoes at him, which is such a great scene. And then it's like, that's just a waste of good fruit, which is where I got the name for the this episode title. And Black is like, why would you even do that? And then Impulse is like, it's a distraction, you idiot. And then Arsenal hits him with the laser. It actually makes it through the armor, but it doesn't quite work. Oh, also, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode, we have the Atom and Bumblebee trying to disconnect the Scarab from Jaime, but the Scarab has antibodies, and it attacks them, and it also repairs all the damage they did. So there's no way that they are going to be able to remove the Scarab from Jaime. Just needed to bring that up because that's kind of important for this episode. So we have the thing is like, everybody's like, Blue, last time you fought this guy, you were going toe to toe to him, no problem. It's like, that was the Scarab. I really don't want the Scarab to take over, because that'd be an issue. I don't want to turn to the dark side. So, and there's this whole sort of kerfuffle is the word I want to use. It's the word I've chosen to use. Kerfuffle. So there's this nice kerfuffle, and they break out of the farm. Impulse goes ahead, tries to scout an exit path, and everybody else makes it out. It's like, good news! I got a couple of escape options. You guys want cornfield or cornfield? And then Tim's just like, cornfield. So it's just like, these guys are so great. So they managed to sort of make a beeline. Unfortunately, only moving about as fast as Arsenal and Tim can move. And then Blue and Impulse have this conversation. They're like, Impulse is like, dude, you could fly out of here real fast. And then like And Blue Beetle's just like, yeah, and you could run super fast, but can you carry Robin if I can carry Arsenal? And then Impulse is like, I'm fast, not strong. And he's like, yeah, and there's the issue. So they're like, and I'd be like, okay, maybe if we double back, we've lost him. And then Black Beetle just sort of lands down. He's like, no, you would. There's no chance you would ever lose me. And then it looks like everything is going. They have another battle. They're like, the only thing that did any damage to him was that laser. Arsenal, can you use it again? It's like, yeah, sure. And then he keeps using laser. It just sort of cuts through the armor a bit, not really doing substantial damage because the armor repairs itself. But then another beetle enters the fray. It's a green beetle from Mars. So it's somebody with all the powers of being a beetle, but also with all the powers that come with being a Martian. And oh boy, that's a little overpowered, if you ask me. Whew. So we get Green Beetle, and he just immediately he's just like, all right, I'm gonna fight Black Beetle now. And so then he starts fighting. He establishes a telepathic link with the team. They're able to start beating him back, and he has like, okay, Blue Beetle of Earth, I have a plan. Set your sonic wave to some number of angstroms. And he's like, and then Jaime replies, my scarab says that tactic would be ineffectual. I'm quoting here. And then it's like, yes, maybe alone, but together. And they both, starts with blue blasting him, and then it goes adds green blasting him, and they sort of knock away his armor and knock him out. And like it's revealed fully that he is absolutely a member of the Reach, as I sort of stated last episode. Yeah, I forgot that this is actually actually said here that he is in fact a member of the Reach. So then they knock him out. They make the escape. They hide out in Kent Farm, and then Green starts to explain that when the scarab attached to him, it tried to take over his brain, but it wasn't quite ready for the Martian physiology. And instead of the scarab taking over his brain, he took over the scarab. And then, of course, we get the end. Well, first we get Nightwing saying, get Robin saying, Arsenal is. It's like the whole thing. It's like we had an issue. Arsenal is, and then he thinks about it. He's like, just a little rough around the edges, but everything turned out okay. It's like he almost told Nightwing that Arsenal was unfit for the team, but he's like, but he did also save our hide. So with a little work, we could probably help get this all together. But he made the call to say that Arsenal was good for the team. If that turns around and comes back to bite him, it'll do that. But it might not. Who knows? So everything is all set, and then Green Beetle psychically links up to Blue Beetle, and he's like, I hear your fears, brother. You wish to silence your beetle. Well, I can help you with that. And that's where we end the episode, with the theory that Green Beetle can in fact help Blue Beetle with his murderous other half. So that's where we end the episode. So, I mean, sort of fillery episodes. I mean, especially compared to the last two, but still good episodes. Still advances the plot, just not as much as the last two. But that's enough for these episodes. Next episode we have is episode 13, The Fix, and episode 14, Runaways, not to be confused with Marvel's Runaways, but the episode is called Runaways. So that's it for this episode, guys. I hope to see you guys next time. Yeah. Take care.